If I really wanted to make an intro that fit this movie, there would be a lot of ketchup on these knives. Because guys, this movie is violent. Logan is... Not gonna do the whole review of knives. Logan is the newest and supposedly last time we'll ever see Wolverine played by Hugh Jackman because he's getting older, he just doesn't want to do it anymore. The character of Logan is at his lowest point and he's taking care of Professor Xavier, who's his mentor to him and like a father figure to him, who is also at the end of the road. These two have had enough with the world and both of them seem like they are done helping anyone who needs their help because they've had enough. And later on the road they meet this girl who's a mutant too and they get all pulled into this crazy adventure that they have to go through now with some bad guys trying to get them. And these two literally have no hope left, which makes this movie pretty depressing most of the time. There's those moments in this movie where you get to laugh, where you get to have fun, but then there's those moments in this movie where it's just so intense. I mean, you understand it too. These characters you've seen throughout all the movies, they're just done. It's a hard thing to watch, especially if you're going up with the characters. Hugh Jackman does a great job as Wolverine. Hugh Jackman always kills it as Wolverine. Even in the crappy movies, he always does the best he can, and he does his best performance as Wolverine in this movie. Honestly, one of the best performances I've seen from him ever. It's amazing. But if Logan's hard to watch sometimes, Charles Xavier, played by Patrick Stewart, who breaks my heart sometimes. I'm going to talk about the fact that this movie's R, and I'm going to hit that strongly because this movie is R. From the first scene in the movie, I thought I loved seeing a little bit of blood on his claws sometimes in some of the movies, but man, when Logan gets pissed, he gets pissed. He starts ravaging these guys. He's a freaking savage, going all around, like, tearing these people apart. It's insane. There's impaling, there's decapitations, there's stabbing, there's a ton of face removals. While I was looking at the movie, there was a lot of face removals. It was crazy. Like, they were like stabbing everywhere and it was insane. There's some times where the violence is just freaking awesome and you're just having a great time watching Wolverine slash through a bunch of baddies. And then there's some moments in this movie where the violence is just pretty disturbing and terrifying. Like, there's some moments in this movie where I had a hard time looking at the screen. There's some hard moments to watch in this movie and the violence has something to do with that. If you're a queasy person, don't go watch this movie. This movie is brutal, it's real, it's raw, it's really dark, and it's not your typical X-Men movie, and that's really something I gotta clarify. This is not your normal X-Men movie. You're not gonna go in, you're not gonna see a bunch of superheroes in suits. You're seeing the story of people just struggling throughout the entire movie. There is literally no light in this movie. There's like a minimum amount of light that gets overshadowed by darkness, because there are some moments where it's just like, wow, they have no hope at all. And yeah, it's kind of a rough thing to watch, but they perform so well. You love seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and you love seeing Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. And I gotta talk about the girl, Daphne Keane, who plays Laura. At some points, I think she was more violent than Wolverine. It was insane, and I loved her. Her performance was so great. They got the best child actor out there who could play someone like that. She was so great in this movie. There was no point where I was like, this little girl's annoying me and she's not doing a great job. No, she did a great job, and it was awesome. There was the bad guy in there. He was kind of a douchebag, you know. He was playing that snarky bad guy you just hate so much throughout the movie, but he did well at what he had to do because a lot of the actors in this movie did their characters well. There wasn't a bad performance that I could point out. Everyone did a good job all around. So yeah, as I like to point out again, this isn't an X-Men movie. I don't even like to really label it a superhero movie because yes, there's people with powers and everything, and you know, they're in this movie and it's an action movie, but the story is so somber and so heartfelt and so heart-wrenching that it just doesn't make it feel like a normal superhero movie. If you're walking in just to watch a superhero movie, you're gonna get disappointed and very disturbed because this isn't your normal popcorn flick Avengers movie or X-Men movie. This is a dark but a real take on a guy who's had enough with the world and has had enough with his life. And yes, this is an amazing swan song to Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for 17 years. That's my entire life. He's been Wolverine for technically all 17 years of my life, and that's awesome to say. They really send him off with a bang. This movie was amazing for you Wolverine fans out there. It's just a great ending for Hugh Jackman's era as Wolverine, and I'm gonna miss the guy. And I've been such a huge fan of Hugh Jackman for so long that I honestly can't see anyone else playing the role of Wolverine for a long time at least. It's definitely one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. It's up there. Logan was everything I wanted and needed from the last movie that Hugh Jackman's gonna be playing Wolverine. So yeah, this is an amazing comic book movie, an amazing movie overall. It's not just a good comic book movie, it's a good movie overall. Logan is amazing and I can't wait to watch it again. I'm probably gonna watch it a million times now. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe to watch more videos and check out my other ones. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.